You make sacrifices to help yourself out, especially if you want multiple things operating at the same time. You can't do it all. And it's okay because there's somebody out there that can. There's somebody out there that can help you with this. It's not weak to ask for help. It's actually the strongest thing that you can do.
Hey, it's Logan Renee of the SOULKATION podcast, the home of all things soul care, a place where we heal, we grow, and we laugh, all while you're building your six-figure business or CEO career. And now for your SOULKATION announcements, we have a live class that we're super excited about for this month. And we're going to be talking about building consistent income, whether it's in your business or real estate or investments. We're going to talk about the truth and the lies around money. We're going to talk about building assets. We're going to talk about having a wealth mindset, the tools that millionaires use, life insurance, real estate 101, investing mistakes, and actual first steps where you can start to not only save money. We're going to talk about tithing and how that's always a return. We're going to cover it all. So you want to make sure that you're there Thursday, May 27th. Where can you find this information? Make sure you're a part of the SOULKATION Tribe Facebook group. We give all the details there. Also, make sure you mark your calendars for the 2021 SOULKATION Retreat. I just want to be the real me. We're going to talk about releasing self-doubt, unpacking brokenness, loving the woman that you truly are, forgiving the woman that you were, having a mindset that's set to be a CEO, that's set to be a leader, that's set to be a woman that runs a podcast, that's set to be a woman that has a New York Times bestseller. Who is that woman under the title? That's where we're going to cover. So we'll see you Saturday, August 28th. All of the details are in the show notes as well as on loganrenee.com. We'll see you there.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the SOULKATION podcast. I'm your host, Logan Renee. So we're going to talk about approval approval that is no longer needed. First, I want to do a special shout out to Coach Vaughn Fisher. She said, this podcast really is a vacation for your soul. It's witty, insightful, and Logan does a wonderful job of sharing some juicy gems of wisdom that you can apply to your life experiences immediately. Vaughn, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your feedback and your comment and your review. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Like I say all the time, this is your podcast. This is your episode. So just let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. I'm here to listen, get as much feedback as possible. So let's talk about this approval because okay, approval will keep us stuck. Okay, and it will kill our dream. It will. Approval will keep us stuck and it will kill our dream. And here's the truth. If you're looking for approval, this is something I have to remind myself of all the time. I literally had to remind myself of this last week. So this is fresh. If you're looking for approval from others to stamp your business idea, to stamp your desire to go back to school, it's not coming. It's not. It's not coming. If you're looking for someone to say, I'm proud of you for staying up late and writing your blog or, filling out the other application or submitting your paperwork for your trademark, it's not coming. It's not. We be wanting to come. It don't come, Are you looking for people to come and, say, oh my God, that business slogan of yours. Girl, I ain't never heard nothing like that. That's the deepest slogan I done ever heard. It ain't coming. If you looking for somebody to say, I'm proud of you for your new color scheme or that you publish your post on time, it ain't coming. And if it comes, it's not as frequent as we would like. It's not coming. So instead of looking for approval and 3 hand claps of praise and yeses from people, here's what as a tribe we should focus on together. Out of the gate, number 1 is movement without consent. Movement without consent. I'm gonna say it again for the people down the street and around the corner that's sitting at Fred house. Okay. Movement without consent. Move in alignment with asking yourself, what do I really, really want? What do I think the business is? It should look like. What has God revealed to me that is the best, way to market this? What platform should I be on? What is it that I truly, truly want outside of thinking, okay, maybe let's try this because it worked for her. You know what I'm saying? So I think a great practice for us is writing mantras and declarations that you can read over out loud to yourself. Remember, the soul keeps track of everything, especially things that come out of our mouth. Of course, the soul knows what's in our heart, but when God created the world, he spoke it into existence. He used his words, right? So what we say out loud of ourselves makes a huge, huge difference. And it could be something that you declare that has a date by it, or, a target number. So for example, it could be by December 31st, 2021, I believe I will attract 20,000 new listeners to the SOULKATION podcast. I have a dream. I have a date. I'm declaring it out loud. So put a date beside, put a target number beside it, and say it out loud. Put it out in the atmosphere. Let the angels hear you. Let your room hear, your space, let the universe hear you. Let God hear you. Come in agreement with it. I think when he says, I'll give you life and life more abundantly, we have to agree to have life. Right? We have to agree to actually go after the promise. And if we don't go after the promise, then we'll just be the people that shoulda, coulda, woulda, And here's the truth. The big picture that you paint will be prettier than any artwork that comes from anybody else. The big picture that you yourself handcraft, that you paint, that you state, that you declare, that you go over and over, and it's doing the same thing over and over, and it's going to come. It'll be prettier than anything that you can borrow from anybody else. It'll be prettier than anything else. Number 2, move in agreement. Move in agreement with the word no. N-O. Okay. I met this lady at a coffee shop. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful inside and out. I would never forget her smile, her energy, just amazing. It's amazing how I meet the most random people. Girl, we was talking, had a whole conversation, and she was talking about, and she gave the best scenarios. I'm like, you are a scenarios queen, ma'am. So she was talking about having 12 slices of bread and 1 avocado. And what we try to do is take that 1 avocado and spread ourselves on each piece. But by the time we get to the 6th one, it's not as much as it was on the first one, especially if you want a full, spread of avocado, not no little fourth of a slice, like a full slab, like the whole toast is covered. By the time you get to 5 to 8 to 9 to 12, there's not that much avocado on those pieces of toast. And that's what we try to do. We spread ourselves too thin, saying that we can do all these things, knowing good and well we can't do it, because if we could have done it, then we would have been able to do it in the past. And even if we do put the slices of avocado on each piece, you won't get as much as the ones at the beginning, and it won't be as great. And that's what happens in work. It won't be as great because we're spreading ourselves too thin. And I think there's nothing wrong with having multiple lanes. I have a podcast, I have a university, I also speak, but I have people to help me out. I just go ahead and swipe my debit card. I cut back. I want to get my nails done. I do. But I also don't want to have to edit my podcast. I also don't want to have to upload all the stuff to YouTube. I also don't want to have to send 7,000 emails to people about coming onto the podcast. I was like, sorry, no nails this month, next month or the month after that. And I want to go and just lay out all day. But you make sacrifices to help yourself out, especially if you want multiple things operating at the same time. You can't do it all. And it's okay, because there's somebody out there that can. There's somebody out there that can help you with this. It's not weak to ask for help. It's actually the strongest thing that you can do. Number 3, moving consistent pace in your lane. Baby, Stephanie Ike said it best, honey. Daughter got us together. Daughter said, trust God in your lane. Daughter said, trust God in your lane. That means you can't trust them in Amber lane or in Terry lane or in Justin lane, because the anointing is not on those lanes. The anointing is there for Justin, but it ain't there for you. You know what I'm saying? And it means that your lane is already paved. There's already cement there. The lines are already there. The road, the guardrails are already there, right? And the people are also already in place, but they're not on Amber's. Okay, if you're supposed to be on Robinson Road and you're on Northside Drive, you're not going to meet the people you're supposed to be in business with, you're supposed to be connecting with, you're supposed to be in partnership with, because you're on the wrong street, right? Your office is already on that corner overlooking the city. But if you're in Texas and God told you that you're supposed to be living in Florida, come on. You're not going to get that office in that city that's already paid for by somebody else. You're in the wrong location. Wrong location. My plan was to move and to do all these things. Every door I tried to open, the Lord shut and locked it. And what I've learned about God, and all of us have different relationships. This is my experience. I'll try different stuff and he keep closing the door. I'm like, okay, so you don't want me to do this. Okay, I'll go over here. Like he speaks to me through no like shut doors. Okay. Like I'll be like, well, Lord, let me try. Let me see. I'll get this unction. I'll get this feeling. Well, maybe I should try this. So then I'll try it. And then it's a huge no because nothing works out. And then I'll go over here in this door and I'll try 2 things and everything is done. I'm like, okay, well, this is where you want me to be. And I'm always down with rocking with his plan. I don't want to lead nothing because I get it wrong every time. Every time I try to lead me into a situation, into a relationship, into a city, it is wrong. And I wouldn't say regret it. I don't regret a lot of stuff in my life, but there's some lessons that I could have skipped. Skip the lessons and stay in your lane, okay? Lastly, your lane has a permission slip that only needs your signature. Your lane has a permission slip that only needs your signature. Okay? You don't need confirmation, affirmation, hand claps of praise from nobody else. Sign it, put your name on it, and move forward. The glory already there. The anointing's already there. When I think of David and Saul, okay? Saul had his kingdom, what he was supposed to do. David was supposed to come there, help the man go to sleep, sing him a little song, play him a little harp, really help him out, have his back, right? Saul tried to destroy David's lane, but when you have covering, when you have anointing, when you have warring angels out there fighting on your behalf, when you have people that's praying for you, covering you, and I'm going to say this, if you're not praying for yourself, who is? You can hope your parents praying for you. You can hope. But what if they're not? You better cover yourself. Okay? You better get on your face. Okay? You ain't going to get on your face. You can lean up against the wall. Okay? Lean on the wall and hit yourself with a quick prayer. Lord, help. She's confused. Help. Okay? I'm going to go over a real quick recap before I be up here trying to be a comedian on the low. Yeah, I know I think I am one. Okay. Approval, not needed. The praises, the hand claps of praise, the approval ratings, they not coming. They not. The best thing we can do is get in that mirror and be like, sis, I'm so proud of you. You don't have to do any of that today. You don't have to record that. You don't have to post that. You don't have to study that. You don't have to read that. You didn't have to pray that, but you did. And I'm proud of you for it. That's the approval that we should be looking for. The ones that's the approval that comes from within ourselves and out of our mouths, right? Move without consent, okay? And declare it over yourself. I want this by this date and I want this much, right? And ask God to come in agreement with you for it and ask him to cover it and protect it, okay? Number 2, move in agreement with the word no. Remember the avocado story, spreading ourselves too thin. By the time we get to the 5th to the 6th slice, child, ain't nothing there. Nothing. Okay. Just a little dabble, a sprinkle. Okay. Moving consistent pace in your lane because your lane is already paid for. There's covering on your lane. There's protection in your lane. But if you're in Shelly's lane, if you're in Justin's lane, you're going to get fake covering. You're going to get your covering and your covering ain't going to last that long. His is provisional. His is intentional. His is filled with love and grace and mercy. And you'll get those things from him because he's a good father. But it'll be more beneficial to you to be in your own lane. That's all I have for you all today. Make sure you share this episode with your closest friend and rate the show as well as review it. And all you have to do is go to the bottom of the episode and just leave your review there. And I'll catch you all on the next episode of the SOULKATION podcast. Have a good one.
My hope is that your soul just went on a vacay and you have tools that you can apply to your life today. For more in-depth tools, head on over to loganrenee.com. Also, if you have questions that weren't answered on this episode, email your questions to logan@loganrenee.com and I'll answer them here on the show. I'll talk to you soon.